And new year, new you. I thought this topic would be really good to talk about, and it's sharing your story. Um, you know, it's. I think this is critical for our recovery to do. Number one, who shares their story? Well, guess what? I share my story every time I speak with you. This is something that's very important to me. It is part of my own recovery, and anybody can do this. It really doesn't qualify. It doesn't qualify you for depending on where you are with your addiction, but do this. Number two, what do you share? That's a good question, right? I was taught, and it was suggested strongly by my sponsor, actually my therapist, and some family friends and other 12-step friends that you what it used to be like. You talk about what it used to be like. That was a hard time, right? What it used to be like, and what happened. A lot of that can be your story related to just having enough, not wanting to drink or drug anymore, and asking for help. And then what it's like now. Wow, yeah, that's the key component, is to stay in that what it's like now. After going through treatment at Gateway, residential or outpatient services, going into a sober living house. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And I think that you have to just want to do that. Number three, when do you speak? Well, so you've been in recovery for, say, 90 days. I believe that my story goes back to that first year, because I remember a woman in one of my 12-step groups I was attending. She says, "It's your turn to speak and share your story." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she said, "No, this is a meeting I think you can lead. I think you can share your story. We get between 5 and 20 people." And I said, 20 people? Oh my goodness. So anyway, we talked briefly about it. And, I was like, okay, I guess I can do this. And wouldn't you know it, I was basically the leader for like 90 days more into my 6 months. And that was so important. I loved it. It really was able to share where I was on the topic and where everybody else was. Number four, where do you speak? Where do you speak? That's a good question. Sometimes you can speak at our own facilities that you're at. I know that a lot of people do speak at their sober living. They do actually speak when we can come back after COVID, right? At their Alano clubs or their churches, or it could be actually a business engagement of some kind, where it basically is something that, again, you share what is appropriate. So, and I talked a little bit about that. Oh, I wanted to share about my 15th year sober. And I belong to a home group. If you don't know what a home group is, it's basically a group you commit to and go to once a week. And we decided that they like to do birthday night and share your milestones. And we had 6 people on that year, on my 15th year of recovery. And so I remember there were 5 people. We stay within our format. We always stay in the hour format, right? We just do that. And so after the 5th person, it was interesting because I think I had 2 minutes left in the meeting. And so I'm thinking, gosh, I've got a lot to share. Well, you know what? At that time, 2 minutes was just right, because I was able to wrap up. I think we had a number of people that had all kinds of birthdays, and it was great. It was just great. So do that. Number 5, why? Why will you benefit from sharing your story? On our alumni relations, we ask you to share your story through our website. It's not that hard to do. And then you get contacted by Jim Wright. Yeah, I love to talk to you and just be able to know, hey, we can do this together. So, what are the benefits? Sharing your story to other people in recovery, you may have you said exactly what that person needs to hear. That is something, again, you need to remember that whatever you said, or if it didn't come out perfectly, it doesn't matter. Someone took something away from that meeting. Willingness to clean house. Yes, cleaning house. That is, again, something you have in your recovery plan. Or, you are writing your goals this year, or you're going through a fourth and fifth step type inventory, and give it up. Another one, you really call out the resentments you probably have with people, places, and things that you've changed. Do you journal? I think talking about it really helps because you're able to really get a better insight to what those resentments are and what to do with them, right? And as we prepare, we get prepared to eventually make amends to yourself, and to other people in that are hopefully in your family or in your recovery. Another thing in regards to resentments is the character defects. None of us like to talk about this, but this is part of recovery. It just is. So anyway, let's go ahead and recap this. Sharing your story. Who shares their story? You do. You do. What do you share? What it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. That's your outline. I suggest that strongly. Did I write something down on a piece of paper? I just kind of followed that and, looked at the past, look what happened, and what it's like now. I think that's a big part of it. And when do you speak? It can be really any time. I think 90 days is about right because we've woken up into recovery, a whole different kind of group of people and friends and counselors and therapists and sponsors that you can talk to. And a lot of times a real small, intimate group can be good. It could be really, really good. And then why do you benefit? Why do you benefit? You benefit when you go back to your home group. The willingness to clean house, to be able to have a really good understanding of what your resentments, your character defects are. And I don't think that the benefit is so great. I share my story tomorrow. We're doing an alumni check-in for our Caseyville Swansea alums, and then we have our alumni meetings, which are held 6 times a week. And we do have speakers that come in and share to all of our alumni every other Saturday at 12 noon. So, connect with us or connect with me. I know that being a director of alumni services, the alumni is very, 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 very strong. I wanted to share that, we do have a Gateway app, Gateway Foundation app. Go on to your computer or your phone and download it to your Android or to your Apple phone. It's so easy to use. And you know what? Everybody is sharing their story and talking with each other on the app. So please do that. Also, Gateway's open. Our residential's open. We are pretty much exclusively teaching outpatient classes throughout our locations virtually. So please, if you need help, and if you do need help, the alumni number is 844-954-3574. Please call 844-954-3574. Okay, next week we will feature and talk about the topic, Life is Good. We're going to invite one of our alums named Sandy H. from Caseyville, Swansea. And we also are going to have one of our counselors, Mark Knott, to come on, and we're going to introduce where you basically introduce Sandy, where she's at, and then be able to have Mark share a little bit about her, and then we'll do a little Q&A, and ask some specific questions about what we learned. So that's really, really important. I know that we're going to continue to do this on a weekly basis. And anyway, I am so grateful that everybody has come on today. And please have a great weekend. I know some of you may have a long weekend with the Monday being off, but otherwise, I'm grateful that you're here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.